Well, with so much in South Africa to be unhappy about, the University of Johannesburg this week released new data from its happiness index. The system tracks the well-being of citizens and detected a surge of anger since loadshedding was ramped up to stage 6. But what does the data reveal about who South Africans really blame for the energy crisis? Newzroom Afrika's Andersen filed this report.
South Africans are furious over the state of the country's failing electricity grid. After years of load shedding, power cuts, among other socio-economic issues, have gotten worse in the last 2 years. Statements like these from politicians are only adding fuel to the fire.
The mood in society is one of a society that is upset. I agree with that. That is the mood. And the reason for that is simple. When you explain the crisis to society, South Africans see themselves as an island. When electricity energy crisis is a global phenomenon, South Africans don't accept that. They think it's a South African crisis.
Energy Minister Gwede Mantashe made that remark on Thursday, while signing off desperately needed deals with independent power producers. But with stage 6 power cuts having devastated the economy and households this month, the University of Johannesburg's Gross National Happiness Index is revealing just how much misery is currently in the air. The index is also used in other countries and has been accepted as official statistical data in New Zealand. Professor Greyling, a well-being economist at UJ, explains how it works.
So what we've done is we use Twitter. So we use a lot. We extract tweets in real time. We do it for 26 countries. We get a few million tweets per day. For South Africa, around about 100 to 120,000 per day. And you look at the tweet and you analyze the sentiment of each of those tweets. And from the sentiment or the emotion score, we use machine learning, major big systems to do all of this. We can then put together what we call a time series that measures the sentiment of the people over time.
Greyling's system has also developed an algorithm to enable the system to ignore tweets that have no meaning or contribute to the sentiment. On Sunday, the index measuring South African well-being hit its lowest point since April. The key driver? Anger, disgust, and mistrust of state officials relating to the rolling blackouts. The index measures 8 different emotions and has previously been credited with picking up a huge surge of anger just before last year's July unrest and looting, following the arrest of former President Jacob Zuma. So the question now is, are we seeing the same levels of anger over the electricity crisis? Or is it now a feeling of hopelessness?
What I do see is sadness is picking up. So I find it different. I can't find exactly the same effect in the tweets I found with President Zuma. I've picked up more initial anger and now a despair, which is also not good. So a kind of hopelessness, despair, is like something like, we're beyond fighting, we're just going to give up.
Greyling says that while South Africans may be feeling defeated, they certainly are mostly united in agreement as to who they blame for the energy crisis. While one would think Eskom would be in the firing line, the data collected by the Happiness Index shows that about 80% of people focus their blame squarely on the government and the ministers in charge. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Andersen in Johannesburg.